You don't know.
How are you today? Doing good. Beginning to get close to that. I think some days.
There's like five seats.
That's
Like cherry.
I'm just hard to hear.
Well, we'll go ahead and start the meeting. Since you showed up today.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have 2 amendments. The first one, item C, number 3, we need to remove that. We'll have them ready at the May 27th meeting. And then under 9, number 10, we need to add the verbiage of acknowledgement of resignation of Brandon Genoma.
Where's that again?
And number 10,
In number 10.
and number 10.
Second. Motion by Mike, second by Mark. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Consent agenda. Okay, Burrow. Motion by Mike. Second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Any conflict of interest amongst the commissioners today? You have one.
Yeah.
Huh?
You have one.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Craig.
Under planning number 8, I have conflict.
Okay. We'll start out with a public comment this morning. We're willing to listen to any concerns that you might have. We move it towards the beginning of the meeting so that people don't have to sit through a boring meeting all day and just talk. We can't act upon it today, but we'll be willing to listen to any complaint. We'd like you to limit it to around 3 minutes. Anybody here who wants to come forward?
It's too early for me.
It's good. It's a 4-page meeting, it's good.
I know.
Nobody wants to say anything yet? If I pass up today, you'll be upset about it.
I guess we're doing everything right.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to the bid opening for the fairground.
That's at 8:30.
Oh, boy.
It's the last of the meeting, right? But yeah.
West River Mental Health.
My name is Amanda Meekley, I'm Custer for Mental Health. We are based out of Rapid City, but we cover the Southern Hills and Northern Hills areas, so an office at the Hot Springs location as well. So we're here just requesting continued support and funding for supporting the community in Custer County. We currently have coverage for case management services for severely mentally ill adults that go into Custer County. So they serve people in person within the county, but then we also provide telehealth services for those who can't travel to our Hot Springs office for other services. We also offer MOUs for the school districts within the county if they would like to receive telehealth counseling services as well. We actually just sent one over to Elk Mountain School District in Bowie. So wanting to support as best we can for the county. So we're requesting a continuation of the amount of $8,218 based on the census from 2020 population of Custer County.
That's for 2027.
And this is just on the budget items?
Yep.
Okay. We will look at it then, right, in September, Dawn?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, sounds like a plan.
Okay, any other questions about what we offer? Or?
Yeah, I'd like to know some more about it.
Yeah. Another piece to what we offer that will stretch into your guys' area is our pivot point location in Rapid City, which offers that crisis utilization. So if ever someone is placed on a mental hold, they can utilize our pivot point facility in Rapid City. The difference in that compared to maybe like when people go to West, or I guess it's behavioral health unit now on it, is that we directly connect to resources and we get them connected to our agency with people like case managers who can then kind of support them in their community when they're released from that location. And that's something that's available to anybody within South Dakota, but we primarily cover this West River side of the state. But other than that, we do, like I said, cover 10 counties across South Dakota on the West River side. So we're in that Rapid City and Spearfish location that stretches all the way up to Newell. So we offer substance use treatment as well based on our Rapid City location. We have a women's residential program for substance use for those who are pregnant or have small children, that they can utilize that program to gain sobriety. We also provide medication services so that we can offer out of the Hot Springs office medication services or even telehealth medication services for mental health. Like I said, we also do that counseling service, so support children and families through some grant funding, so these services can be free for those kiddos. So those that we connect with the school district, we get referrals from them and we can connect with them and provide telehealth or in-person services for the Southern Hills as well. That kind of covers our mental health services that we offer.
Okay, appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Maintenance. Morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Morning.
First couple items are quick, and then into a little bit longer item. First agenda item is to acknowledge the department transfer of Keith Jeton from maintenance to highway. His final date in maintenance was 5/5/26. Second item is to approve the hire of Corey Custer, full-time benefited maintenance 2 positions starting at $23.53 an hour, and that starting date was this Monday, 5/11.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mark, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
The next topic gets us back into HVAC. I sent you guys, just kind of an update email again. Obviously, right now, there's a lot of interest in the budgets and the large expenditures and all that, just from everybody in the community. And so I just wanted to kind of bring us back to where we came from here. And back in February 2023, started looking at more in-depth into the HVAC system because we're having issues. Come to find out from different HVAC companies and engineers that it's got this specific type of system has a lifespan, 10 to 15 years if it's a little rougher, or 15 to 20 years if we're sitting good. So regardless, we're getting closer and closer. I mean, that expiration date's coming. So that's why we started the process of trying to figure out what we need to do with this system, because right now it's doing great, but middle of winter, there's plenty of times where we don't have heat, or if the system goes down, we have no backup heat. So that's where that whole system began, for those who don't really know what the background and history on this is.
Is this end of the building working now?
This end of it, yeah, this zone here has a primary and secondary unit, and right now we're still waiting on a circuit board for the secondary, so it's only running on primary. So if it gets 100 degrees out, it can only run on the primary right now. We won't have the ability to kick it into kind of overdrive. And the circuit boards on this stuff, I mean, we have no idea where it's gonna come.
We're limping along.
Yeah, but then just the other day, as they finished up this, a smaller zone that controls the basement and the hallway by my office, compressors are shot. That's a completely different zone. So that's another, if we choose to fix it, another 10 plus grand. So far I've got, when we originally were looking at how can we make this system work, to control that, or to turn that mechanical room into a temperature controlled room, a neutral room. Well, that was $250,000 just to convert it. And then we still have a system that's got a life expectancy of a few more years. You know, we don't know. It could last 5 years, it could last 1 year. We don't know. It could last 10 years. You know, but ultimately we don't know. We are having more and more compressor failures, and that's a sign of a failing system. That's been happening more and more. So I've got a bid on that. I got a bid on cove heat. You guys wanted to get cove heat, but then what do we do for air conditioning? Got bids. We got a heat study done, or an HVAC study to kind of give us our options. We went through that. I'm currently waiting on bids for operational windows for the second floor. I don't know how we can do that on the first floor, just for security purposes. When somebody leaves it open at night. But then you have pollen, smoke, dust, noise. I mean, that's an issue too. And then I've got a bid now from an engineer. If you guys choose to move forward with something, but you want to put out the bid instead, I got the estimate for a biddable plan from the engineer. So, and that'll get into the next point. But currently, it's just right now, over the last 4.5 years, above and beyond just normal repairs, you know, pumps and little motors and stuff, that's just normal maintenance. But above and beyond, like actual breakdowns of compressors, boards, leaks, in 4.5 years, we've spent $37,000 in repairs. So it averages out to just under $700 a month. We're just putting in repairs, but that doesn't account for this latest repair or the system that's down in the basement. So if we were to get that fixed and we get all that built and settled up in the next 6 months, we're looking at just over $1,000 average that we're kicking into just repairs, above and beyond just your normal expected. So
It's still a lot cheaper than $4 million.
it is, but this system it is expiring.
Yeah.
This refrigerant isn't, they don't use this anymore. I mean, they can get it, but it is, I mean, I'm just giving you the facts.
Right.
It's and I've told you guys, ultimately, I don't care, you know, if we do co-feed and hand out fans, that's fine. I just, you know, I can't fix it, you know, if someone's too hot or too cold, I can't be hearing about it all the time because I can't do anything about it. So we got to figure something out, and we got to get the ball rolling more seriously.
Then we get into the problem with the heat on all the servers and all that too.
Well, that's a separate system downstairs. That's an isolated system for the server room. That was upgraded. We put 10 grand into that a couple of years ago, and it's working good.
So far it's going good.
Yeah, that's a standalone system.
So that system, with our $4 million, is not even part of that.
No,
Good.
no, that's a standalone system. So anyways, that gets us to the old system was 4.53 million was what it came in at. That was a 4-pipe boiler chiller, really nice system, just rock solid system. They went to a 2-pipe hybrid heat pump, so it's a water source based heat pump, not an air source like what we have. And it also utilizes the boiler for heat, and that came in at 3.9 or 3.95 million. And I have all the, I think I sent that to you guys. So I guess I just need to know, I don't know what else I can do at this point. I've got all the numbers. It comes down to, you know, a big decision, how we want to, if we just stay as is and keep fixing it, that's fine. It will get to a point where that's not going to it's not be sufficient. That could be a year, could be 10 years, 5 years, I don't know. So I have no way to know that.
And there's no way, in my opinion, we can do the.
3.95.
No.
Plus you got cost overruns, so we're probably gonna be right back $4.5 million.
And then that brings us into the next point. Then, if in order to put it out, because the way we're doing it now, if you go through a purchasing cooperative, like what this is, you don't have to put it out for bid. We're exempted by codified law. We don't have to. If we put it out to bid, then we have to hire an engineer to do a physical plan. And that right now, the total price on that they gave me was $296,000 for the total engineering project plan. And I was guessing $250,000. That's what I mentioned in the one meeting, but it came back at 296. But to do the preliminary pre-design and final design, once you get those done, that can sit on the shelf for 10 years if you want, until you pull the trigger. So that portion would be $222,000 to get us through final design. And then you have the bidding process and the construction administration process on that. The longer you wait, those numbers will change.
Yeah.
But as of today, it's 296, just to get the first 2 phases done, the needed part, that's 222. And then you can put it out for bid if you chose. But now this bid, we just got for the 3.95, that includes engineering. So if they choose to bid on it and their bid comes in lower, you have to realize that's not including engineering. You know, so because the engineering will pay it separate, so they're going to take that out of their bid. But I'm just giving you the numbers and the scenario of what we're sitting in. Today we're doing fine. I don't know what tomorrow holds or next winter if it's 20 below. You know, that dispatch, I feel bad for them. They're in there 24/7 when it's cold and windy. That room is cold, that heat can't keep up.
Because I can't swallow $4 million. So
No.
Yep.
There's no grants, loans, anything.
They've reached out to
There's a lot of that.
local governments.
those pretty much put the extra lot of that stuff.
We had a grant writer come in, so we haven't followed that path, but from what we're hearing, that there's no specific HVAC system. The only kind of grants we could be eligible for, and that's not even a guarantee, is if we do some fancy energy ice storage system, but then basically you're just hoping to get that money back and pay for that component of the
It
system.
doesn't even pay for the whole thing, if I remember correctly. So
So you just have some more complex system that's gonna break down that you hope to get paid for.
yeah,
that
it's
portion.
been $750,000, we hope to get 250 back. I think we've got to discuss it.
I'm just looking for what you guys want me to do. Because at this point, I think I have as much information as I can get you guys, other than I'm waiting on a window bid.
Yeah.
But that's not the solution either. I mean, it's smoky out, and it's 90 out. You know.
Yeah, I'm not completely in favor of the window deal, but it would be nice at times, but you know, that day we were talking about, it was hotter than Jesus in here. So,
Yeah, I think we're gonna start looking at some second options and then maybe consider at some point if we can save some money, look at an engineered plan, but.
I don't think we have a decision right now. Sorry to say.
I think we should keep putting it on the agenda in case more information.
Every week, every
Yeah.
time we have a meeting, yeah, so
Keep kicking it around here until we.
actually, I've already reached out to a couple of professionals that I work with to see what their thoughts are, so.
The heating is more the simple one than the cooling is, so.
The heating is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could put some real nice co-heat. The co-heat I got bid was, you know, ceiling tile stuff, and everyone would have their own remote for their gas location. So heat's not the issue.
We did that addition in the Elk Mountain School up there, it was a similar system, I guess. We had same engineer, same architect, and they must have learned their lesson, because we did put backup code heat. So,
Have you looked at mini splits? I haven't looked at.
we talked about
That's
that
what we're
too.
just talking about, Jesse.
Yeah, we looked,
Option with the cold heats. So,
So then you have a mini split, basically they'd be hanging all off the building or up on the roof, and we'd have to protect, if they're on the roof, we'd have to protect them from hail. They just get beat up.
get those multi-zones and stuff, so. But anyways,
And that was one of the options, yeah, is the mini splits with code.
You can get units that have like 4 or 5 heads, so you can cover.
yeah, those are multi-zones. Yep. That's the one we build.
They actually heat into the most
They do,
part.
they're heat pump, yeah. But they quit heating at a certain temperature anyway, so that's where the code comes in. So you don't have the problem we have now.
And we can't just throw big rooftop units on, because then, zoning, you get one thermostat running half a building, and I'm changing my phone number if that happens.
Change your location too. You know where you live.
so, just wait, I guess we'll talk, see what the window big time will start from there, and we'll start.
Thanks, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you.
Highway department.
Knowledge. You guys are all familiar with this for the past number of years. The 2026 Mount Rushmore Half Marathon will be taking place September 12th. That's usually a day long, and I don't even know if it's a complete day long event where they will use a portion of Ghost Canyon and a portion of Coast Road for their marathon. They have the application for a special permit to occupy the right of way. Once I return this with your acknowledgement, they will get me proof of insurance and same deal. I have a right-of-way occupancy application from Golden West for fiber optic service at 12280 Alamo Lane is my recommendation. The county would approve that.
Second. Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same.
Next thing is the gravel report. My apologies for the small print, but at this rate, I can keep it all on one page, reuse the same inventory that we already keep in anyway. If you look on the top half of this page, and you look at the highlighted areas, besides the very top one that's highlighted, that's including our surfacing gravel, and where each of those are at. The first gray box in the middle of the page will be total on hand as of today. And the bottom part of the page are the gravel surfacing projects for the county for the year. And the bottom gray box is the estimated total needed to complete those projects. Everybody following along? I know I gave you a lot of information.
I appreciate it, Chris.
Now, as it stands right now, I have not spent the whole aggregate budget, and I think everybody here knows that I generally don't do that. I say this early in the year, we're just about halfway through the year already. There is still time for something stupid to happen. That's why I hold off on making the final purchase till closer to the end of the year, so that we still have some reserve for aggregate. Who knows? We could have a flood, something that would happen where I'd have to switch gears and get something different. But right now, as it stands, there is just enough unspent in the current aggregate budget to get what I have planned for done. And at the end of the year, we'll be right back to basically nothing for surfacing gravel. I must continue with this list that I have, the surfacing project. It'll likely change, guys, because plans always change, period, end. And for those who say we put too much gravel on a road, Upper French Creek was resurfaced 6 years ago. And after I bladed it a couple of weeks ago here, we're breaking through that and we can see the old red gravel coming through. So I know there's a lot of naysayers out there who think, well, we can gravel it and be good forever. It's not the case. Gravel disappears, blows away, gets moved around, gets cast off by traffic. And these are just two examples. Elliott Road was resurfaced right at 9 years ago, and that one needs redone also. That's more, that 9 year span is a little bit more of what I would call an average traveled road. Upper French has a ton of traffic on it. A lot of development beyond where we take care of. So that explains kind of why that's the low side of the average. We have roads clear out east and south of Riverside. Those roads probably last 20 years. But this is just an average. But keep in mind, my goal has always been for surfacing gravel has been 40 miles a year. That puts the entire 400-mile system on a 10-year rotation to keep up with surfacing. And that just maintains just where we're sitting. Right now, we'll have enough to cover approximately 34 to 40 miles. Gravel won't get cheaper unless somebody can magically flood the market with it. I don't know.
No, there was firewood was getting scarce till about December 18th.
Yeah. Craig, the wind blows so hard we get excess gravel.
No, this is good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your look into this.
Have you heard anything from the Forest Service?
Not a word. Actually, I think there's a Forest Service representative here maybe today, but I don't think that individual has anything to do with what we've been talking about. As of that meeting, Jim, as you recall, we were going to be contacted by the Forest Service in, and I quote, a week and a half or 2 weeks. This last Monday was the third week. Knowing that the federal government takes forever and a day to do things, I was going to give it until Monday, next Monday, which would be the 4th week, and reach out and say, okay, where are we at? So,
I think there was estimated about a month out to have a meeting, but we were supposed to get a
notification or
yeah,
something.
notification.
Yep.
So hopefully it's
They
coming.
just didn't give us the date of when a week and a half was away from us.
Right, right.
And we did provide a
We just
follow-up
said-
email after the meeting that Jesse put together a nice summary of everything that we talked about at the meeting. And I even put together, like, essentially took their scheduler agreement and put in comments of like how we would propose to revise the agreement and included that and attached that. And that was about a few days, 4 days after
Yes.
the meeting. So they've had all of our material for coming up.
Well, maybe that's why they're not reaching out to us.
So, and while we're on that, as far as delays, and I hate even acknowledging half the rumors that I hear, but I recently was reached out by a former county employee who lives up in the Limestone and said, well, just the rumor is you're not going to blade the roads anymore. Now, to that, I'm baffled. To B, it doesn't surprise me considering some of the BS that I've heard over the years. That is not the case. We fully intend to continue blading the roads. Forest Service agreement aside, I still feel an obligation to the people in those Forest Service areas that are paying their secondary road tax. However, depending on what comes out of the Forest Service, that may change the way we do business on our Schedule A roads. I don't know where we're at with that. That's up to the commission. In the meantime, please, please understand everyone. Everybody thinks we got this foot of snow a couple weeks ago that helped us. That didn't do anything for us, guys. This is the drought map. That's how it looked the week before the snow. That's how it looked the week of the snow. And that's how it looked this week.
Still bright red.
That snow didn't do us nothing. For the record, on Wednesday, we received that snow and moisture for those on the east side of the county and the southwest from 4/24 until the morning of 4/28. Okay, on the 28th of April, the roads were slop. We couldn't have bladed them if we wanted to. It was just goo. The following morning, it was froze up until 9 o'clock. We started blading at 9 o'clock on Friday, the 29th. And we were rolling dust by noon the following day. Now, we kept blading for a couple days because that's the lowest fire danger we've had for months. I bladed and chose to blade because of the low fire danger. But what we did as much harm as it did good. Because as you'll see now on the roads that we bladed, there's loose rockland all over the top of the road. And mark my words, it's already starting to happen. We're getting corrugation, which is the bane of my existence. It's loose rockland there, but that traffic rolls up and creates corrugation in our roads. So the next complaint is going to be about dust and washboards. Promise you. Promise you as I sit here. I'm sorry that that's the way it is, but again, for the I don't know how many millionth time, we're as reliant on the weather to do our job as a farmer or rancher is to do his. And without the right weather, we can't. It's not that we can't. I can go out and blade today if you'd like. Keep in mind it's a high fire danger day, guys. Really don't want to burn the forest down, and I really don't want to loosen roads up to make them worse. So we go as hard as we can. If you follow our time at all, there was a considerable amount of time, overtime put in right after that rain, and we ran from sun up till sundown as long as we could. So I'm doing everything that I can except starting the pavement program.
Look any moisture in the future for us.
It looks crappy, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice though, the roads that were made held up a lot better before the snow than the ones that weren't. So maybe the one made is the answer.
Mike.
Well,
There's one, they do hold up pretty well.
they held up noticeably better.
We're right back to.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I know that.
I told you guys several years ago, and this is before prices jumped on mag water too. If you want, I'm not advocating for this, taxpayers. We can start magging every mile in the county. I don't disagree with you, Mike. It saves on gravel. But if we mag every mile that we have 3 or 4 years ago, that was $1.5 million. So we're well over 2 by now.
Every mile by any means.
Yeah, our mag budget's grown pretty well over the years. I don't know how much farther we can really afford to go.
No, I agree.
We're in a rock and roll spot here.
A little word of advice, the old highway superintendent from Lawrence County had the most extensive mag chloride program in the state. They just about did all of their roads. Now keep in mind, they don't have near the gravel roads that we have. But in his words, and he's retired since then, he said everybody liked it. But he said, if you add up what I spent on mag chloride over the 15 or 20 year course of my career, we could have paved a lot of roads. I would say it if they were sitting here. Mag chloride salesmen are like drug dealers, guys. Oh, I'm not kidding. I know that sounds mean. It's not mean. But once they got you hooked, you gotta have it. Do I need to stop? You need to do it.
Sound like that, sir.
Just so everybody knows, we're really not thinking about the road track.
Do we finish?
Yeah, let's do some.
Okay. Last item that I have on the agenda is, equipment purchases for 2026. You should have received in the packet a PDF. Did everybody get that? I hope you got it.
We got 5 packets.
Yeah.
They were kind of mixed up.
Oh,
This
boy.
is,
You want this one?
is having some issues.
That's the one.
They were all approved in the budget. I mean, they're all stuff that was in the budget.
Yeah, I'm under budget on the equipment side. And everything in here is Sourcewell co-op pricing. There's a couple things at the bottom, as long as we're thinking about long-term. Tire changing machine will likely have to be purchased before the end of the year. We're waiting for one that we have tonight. Post driver is kind of the same deal. Waste oil burner, as long as we're talking about HVAC, waste oil burner that we use in our shop, which we do save a crap load of money on heating in the shop because we burn all of our waste oil for heat in the building. That burner is, actually I found the serial number on it is 22 years old and their lifespan is about 20 years. I haven't even looked into what a new waste oil burner costs. I'm sure it's probably not $4 million, Joe. But just so you guys know that these are things that wear out. I would get another one, by all means. Always we gotta find a place to go with all our waste oil. Further up on the list, let's go back to the top. The top one is a new ag tractor to replace one that we're getting rid of on the current auction, which is finally taking place. Same with 2 new batwing mowers. We're replacing the 2 batwing mowers that we got rid of at an auction ago and 2 auctions ago. The Degelman blade attachment for an ag tractor. That is more of a snow removal tool, although I don't know how winters are supposed to be nowadays. I'm looking at a way to use the same equipment for different jobs because normally our mowing tractors sit for all winter. So my theory is why not put a blade on it for $24,000 rather than spending $124,000 on a truck that would sit during the summer. Trying to get more use out of the same equipment is what I'll do there. The disc I've already purchased. That was a $6,000 item for reclaiming shoulders. And I'm still up in the air on a pickup because I don't even know if anything's available at this time. The only other thing that I have on the list is I'm still toying with the idea of another single axle plow truck like we bought. The last one we bought was used, and that has proven to be a very good purchase. But I haven't pursued it real fast, real hard.
Do you need some of the stuff spread out as far as purchasing?
Well, at the end of the year, it's typically hard, because the funds aren't coming in. So if you do it,
If I do it,
If he does it now, he's good? Okay.
But the one thing I do want to point out when we keep saying this end of the year stuff is it's nothing against you, Jess, it's just the county in general is over budgeting, so that's what's leading to the cash crunch at the end of the year.
Yeah,
So,
this was like 231, so it's not huge like we did in December, so. Yeah. Probably be okay with that, right?
Okay, I'll move
just
to approve.
always maybe ask before you have this huge purchase to see how cash is.
Just
Yeah, we're getting some tax money in, so it's good timing.
I'll move to approve the purchase of the equipment.
you're not even considering all these, are
Sorry,
you?
improving this.
It's more of an update than that.
Yeah, 'cause
I would like permission to proceed with not everything. Obviously, guys, I keep getting them.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is, I don't have to complain with anything that's on the list.
No, I think now's time too, because we don't know what's gonna happen next year.
Right.
So we've already got it funded for the year.
Yeah, I got a question.
I would like to be,
Your tire changer, didn't we just put a new one like 4 years ago?
Yeah, balancer.
I said you got a new tire changer.
About, I don't know, about close to 7 years ago, was before I was superintendent, we bought a stupid truck tire changer that didn't work and wore out and is broken now. That was 15 grand wasted, to be perfectly honest.
What kind of tire changer are you?
This is just a coach passenger car tire changer.
It's not a truck.
No, unfortunately, bars are still a faster way to change truck tires.
Yeah, I knew that. They're a lot harder to run back.
For right now, Commissioners, I would like to proceed with the tractor. The mowers, yeah, it seems contradictory. The grass has already stopped growing. The blade. And I need to check a little more on pickup availability. I don't know what's If we don't keep up with the equipment, you guys know what happens.
yeah.
Thank you for the update. No.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, permission to ask a question that's relevant to Jess and to the board. Last night in the meeting in Hot Springs, Senator Hulse was talking about State Senate Bill 96. My question to you, Jess, is do you look forward to receiving any of this funding that Senator Hulse has stated will be available from this bill for equipment, county equipment, to include not only your department, but the sheriff's office and any other?
Mark, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the Senate bill you're talking about. Give me a couple more details.
Senate bill is a half-cent tax.
Which that doesn't this is
Oh,
the difference.
That won't go to highway.
This goes to owner occupied
Yeah,
tax.
to reduce the tax rate.
Just
Yeah,
wanted to clarify that. Thank
but
you.
we have it further down the agenda.
No,
So if you just,
You're not making the motion right now?
not making them, I know the people on the needs.
We don't need our trade.
Yeah, it's already in the budget. It's just like-
Well, that brings us back to the
Bid opening.
8:30 a.m. bid opening for the fairground.
Good morning, I got Greg here from the Fair Board. This is for the bid opening for the Custer County Fairgrounds that you guys approved on 4/22, went to the paper on 4/29 and 5/6. Get started. This is from BH Property Preservation. A check for bid security. Their proposal amount is $349,500. We're gonna wanna open these and then we'll just table it, discuss it, and come back and see what the fair board has decided. This one's from Capital Builders of Belfouche. And they did a check as well. Their total amount, $180,411.52.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
They go on my app every time you go.
Yeah.
This is KRS Construction. They have a check as well. Their total bid, $286,242.56. Next one is Summit Construction.
Yeah.
And they have a check as well. Their total bid price, $217,989.82. The next one is from Overhead Door. Looks like they just sent us a bid if you want overhead doors. They didn't put up this building. That's just a little bonus. So we just asked if we table it, let discuss with two fair board members, since it's their money, and we don't let them decide.
Motion by Craig, second by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so.
One of those sales meetings, if you're looking at this, you might want to look at this.
Forest Service.
I got an email from Megan, Forest Service, about that, Stag Road that really comes across the RPZ zone that was the land we just purchased. Originally, we talked about, I think we already got a stake, but having that road just come off Stag on the north side to go to tie it across price track there. Keep traffic off of that RPZ, which actually didn't even know anymore. So we were looking to see if we were obligated for what the steps were. So I guess I don't know where we're at. I don't have all the documents on that yet, so I don't know.
We're waiting for Schedule A and this one from the Forest Service. And then we'll come up.
Okay.
I was thinking that we were supposed to.
Well, we were looking to see if there's any legal documents saying we have to do it or not. I know there was talk about it. I really just want to build a road just because somebody said it.
It might be just an easement too, Craig. It might be just an easement.
Well, they already got the easement across the price track. We already gave them that. This is across their own property, Forest Service property. So,
I could drive my truck up and down it a few times.
I know, but
Follow the
make
road.
a 2-track out of it. but-
Yeah.
Custer County Search and Rescue.
Good morning.
We're not spending money, we're bringing it in, so that's good. I don't want to be on the agenda too much. We had 2 fires, beginning quarter of the year, the Gray Rocks fire and the Curry fire. Between those 2 fires, we brought in $65,858.52 to the county, with $37,586 and 68 cents for personnel costs, which leaves $28,271.84 for just county revenue.
Yeah, we appreciate this.
Not asking for anything other than personnel to be reimbursed, as in the contract. But just a reminder that we brought in money, so that way if we do ask for something or maybe want a little bump in our budget, that, you know, it's 28,000 plus. I think done from the work that we did.
The pay was in the scanned item, I believe. All that, so that's great.
Yeah, thank you, and for going above and beyond creating that team too.
We do keep that in mind. If that money comes into the general fund and we earmark it for search and rescue. Definitely.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Do we have a break first?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I was joking. Just trying to mess with Steve a little bit.
Yeah, we'll put him on the hot
Sorry.
No, this is not my fault. Yeah, no, I'm not on, I'm next week.
Okay, so first item I have for today is the second reading of the ordinance 20, the Custer County ordinance number 20, an ordinance regulating open burning in Custer County. That's the first item that I have that we need to go through. Here. We can
I think you would recap it again at least.
Recap
Just,
again.
yeah, fine.
Okay.
And stuff.
So basically, it gives the definitions of open fire within it, definitions of the Black Hills Forest Fire Protection District in it as well. Burn barrels, campgrounds, charcoal grills, liquid fire grills, and outdoor fireplaces, and talks about the regulations in it. So basically, anything that's within a high wind watch or warning, fire weather watch or red flag warning restricts open burning within the county, as well as a countywide burn ban if it's placed into effect. Keep in mind that none of these are applicable on Forest Service land. They have their own regulations. One of the regulations that they have in place, I left a document for you guys that explanation of fire restrictions, and it's from the Forest Service. It's what's included with stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 fire restrictions. So that doesn't apply in this. And then also it covers the potential fines for it, and penalty for violations not to exceed $500 or 30 days in jail or both. Of course, reminding people that they're responsible for any suppression costs as well is included in this as well. So, anything else you want information for?
Is there any public comment?
Anybody else?
I'd move to approve the second reading.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say.
I just had one question before we
Go
move
ahead.
on. How are we doing on, in case we have to redo the burn ban, actually itself?
Got just a couple things in it that we found that need to be changed, and when I got this stuff from Jason, that'll help us out with the stuff with the welding and stuff.
How are we doing with fire official loans? We got some green up and a little moisture.
Yeah, and you know, we're doing a little bit better, but to say that we're not gonna put it in, you know, in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, you know, I mean, green up is pretty decent in some areas, not so much in others, and as Jesse stated, you know, grass is about done growing. If we don't get any more moisture, we're not gonna have a whole lot there. So one other thing I'll cover before I talk about this document that we've created is, so the highway department put one of the fracking tanks down at Pringle, where their old blue tank used to sit on Main Street there, for additional water supply, as well as out at the East County Highway shop on Monday when it was picked up. I bought golden adapters from Grimm's Pumps so that we could be able to hook it up to fire trucks and stuff, so they could draft and fill the tanks. Each one of them holds like 20,000 gallons. And so, you know, hopefully, if we have additional need, at least it's there and available. So there's something I thought I'd mention as well. We've been working with myself from the Sheriff's Department as well as Custer Fire Department, Wildland Fire, and the Forest Service have been working on something so it will be more plain to people what the regulations are when they're in place and stuff. And so I got this document here that James Batchelor, Selena Spring, and I have been working on. It's going to have hyperlinks too. We have to make a couple changes, but I'm hoping by the next meeting, we'll be able to have it put onto the county webpage, the city's webpage, as well as I've been working with the Chamber of Commerce to get it out, you know, to the public and stuff. It'll have a QR code on it so people can scan it to their phone, and each one of the places in blue there is a hyperlink to you can go to the Weather Service, Custer Fire Department, Custer County, City of Custer, Black Hills National Forest to see what their stuff is,
as well as South Dakota Department of Public Safety for any and all of their permitting things that they do within the Blacklist Forest Fire. Hopefully we got everything dialed in with that, and we're ready to go with that. And as soon as we can get it done, we'll try and get it put on the page and we'll talk with the city as well, and fire departments that have web pages as well. So hopefully that can clarify some stuff, and the big hope with the chamber is that we can get it out to the Airbnb folks and the management companies that manage, a lot of it through Airbnb and VRBO stuff. Okay. Last item. So, we've been working with, it was AMCON group, but it's just Assisting Citizens South Dakota group, and Jeff Pryor started this, a lot of military folks and stuff, and I've got their roster here. I started working with them, trying to get them training and stuff a couple of years ago here. Last year, they helped during a exercise that we did with the Office of Emergency Management. And then this year, during the Quarry Fire and the Sundance Fire, between the sheltering operations and the evacuation stations, as well as phone lines and emergency operations center stuff up there. We had about 400 hours of labor for the county for free. The thing that we had to get stuff put in place for them, for their structure and everything, and for them to be a nonprofit and have, in order for me to be able to come to you guys and request that we add them as a volunteer organization under emergency management that we can utilize, and cover their workers' comp, because it was big in the times that we did it. The 2 times I did it, I was kind of probably sticking the county's neck out for it, but it was, the first one was a training thing. The second thing was I didn't have it. Mark's asked in the past when we talked about it, if it's something, that we can do with folks that are on search and rescue or any other thing. Basically what this group's doing is filling in places where either they don't have the experience that the folks in this group do, or we're covering something so that the sheriff's department or search and rescue, one of the fire departments, doesn't have to have somebody show up and help us run an emergency operations. And so it's been a huge thing. And the 400 man hours that they put in during the fires that we had, the volunteer hours for that we can put towards our 15% that we have to cover under the feeding declaration. So those volunteer hours count towards what the county would have to put in time.
So
that's my request.
what do we have to do with the insurance? We have to do something.
We'll have to submit that.
Have to submit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Get them on the.
Yeah. And then Don can just let me know. So, yeah.
It's only when they're acting under the county, but.
Yep. Yeah. It's only when they're acting under the county and have to be ordered by the emergency manager or the sheriff's department needs folks. It have to be ordered by the else. You work to get them, the IDs and stuff that the fire departments and all of them.
We just need to figure out the insurance company and then bring it back to them.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
That's what's shorter than Jesse, right?
Yeah.
Somebody saw that. That's a big one.
Well, the first thing I have is request surplus of a 1993 and a 1985 Humvee, so we can.
There should almost be fireworks go off. Yeah, second.
I think there's an argument on that.
You made the motion, right, Craig?
I did.
And I'll second
Motion
it.
by Craig, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say same.
So not long ago, I was here for Jeff McGraw, and he was retiring to give him his service firearm. We upgraded firearms in 2024, where we kept, as old timers kept their handguns.
So they're rather old, but if you guys would surplus them, or I would be willing to purchase them. The trade-in value that we were quoted was $285, but I wanted to keep mine and have Steve keep his.
I'll move to surplus them and donate them to the retiring officers.
Second.
Motion by Mark, second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Thank you. Then the next line is retirement of Lieutenant Steve McMillan.
Should we table this?
Yeah. Yeah, denied.
The effective date on
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
since I can't do much without him, my retirement will be effective June 18th.
Denied.
Congratulations
Yeah,
again.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I said this morning, I looked at the history book of sheriffs since 1877. After 9 years, that puts me as the fourth longest serving sheriff. If the numbers are correct, which I believe they are.
Sure, I want to go for the record.
Have that forever.
Oh, yeah.
Derek has a challenge.
Very good out here.
We have a motion or
Yes, no, it's part of the same.
Yeah.
You have to make a motion.
I'll move to approve the two retirements for Steve McMillan and Mark.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
Thank you guys. for
Thank you,
being
Mike.
down.
That my recommendation would be to appoint Derek. I've talked to him several times about this, and he's certainly ready for the job. And he will do a very good job for Custer County. And I'm very grateful that he ran for sheriff.
I'm happy. I think we have some good things going too.
Yes, and two, I think it's gonna be great. Yes. Nothing we gotta do right now, but, two sheriffs.
Planning to take over after the 18th. Just so it's.
And then we gotta figure out paying our every, how do you want to do that? Or,
No, we already did some discussion.
yeah, we've already been talking about that.
And this is gonna have a little later.
So I say that part will be on the next.
Okay, and then they're requesting to promote Rob Steele to the rank of sergeant. Rob's been a very valuable team member in the sheriff's office. We do not have a wage scale for sergeants. We are recommending to increase them to $32 an hour, which would be approximately $1.50 above deputy pay. It's $1.50, but it's several dollars of extra headaches for them to do that position. It's really important to get these guys that are good, get them promoted so they can help steer the future for the sheriff's office overall.
Have we sent this right committee, or do we have anything to look at it anymore?
I discussed it with Amber.
Okay.
That is less than Sergeant Clevenger makes. Sergeant Clevenger, he's been here a little bit longer, and that was the gap, and that was kind of what we came to agreement on.
I'm not against it then. I would move to approve.
Motion by Mike, second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Thank you. And then we had resignation of Robin Martinez, effective 5/5/2026, 911 dispatcher. And we had resignation of Tricia Huber, effective 5/11/2026, as 911 dispatcher. 911 dispatchers are probably the most important job that we have in the county, in my opinion. It's really hard to fill those positions. So I would like to advertise for hiring of the two dispatchers. We can get people hired in those spots and
training.
Yeah, we can't go without 911 dispatchers, so I move to approve advertising.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
And I guess we acknowledge the resignations as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you guys for everything.
Thank you for the last 9 years, supporting the sheriff's office.
And I've enjoyed working with you guys, and you've done a lot for us.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Eric has some big shoes to fill, so.
I'm aware. Very well.
Hope to work with you on this board, Marty. Good luck.
Planning.
The first agenda item I have for you is a request of a final plat of Dickoff Track South revised. Applicant is Robert Dickoff. We are proposing a lot line adjustment. Track South revised will be 40.17 acres and access to South Dakota Highway 40. This plat was sent out for comments from the interim review committee in April. Was presented and approved on May 5th by the planning commission, and the planning commission recommends that the board grant.
Move to approve. Motion by Mark, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
The next one I have for you is a final plat of Fry Track of the Elk Mountain Ranch subdivision. Applicant is Mark and Janet Fry. They are proposing a lot consolidations, track 61, 62, and 63. Will become Fry Track with 15.01 acres and access is to Dugout Creek Drive, which is 66 foot wide right of way. This plat was sent out for comments from the interim review committee in March, was presented and approved on April 8th by the planning commission, and the planning commission recommends that the board grant.
So this was the one we had trouble, what became of that?
It's done. That's the date, everything.
Good to go.
But I did get notification that the mortgage company did not pay that. Written, it's in an email.
Yeah, everything is good to go.
Yep.
Look approved.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
The next one I have for you is a final plat of Teresa Tract. Applicant is Teresa Wheatley. They are proposing a lot consolidation, lot 76, 77 revised, lot A, B, and tract 28B will become Teresa Tract with 42.12 acres. Access from Ghost Canyon Road and Box Canyon Road and Blue Jean Trail. They are all 66 foot wide public right of ways. This plat was sent out for comments from the interim review committee in March. It was presented and approved on April 8th by the planning commission. And the planning commission recommends that the board grant final approval.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
John, just so you know, 2 of those are in a road district currently. Oh, thanks.
The next one I have is a final plat of Wheeler Tract 1 and Wheeler Tract 2 of Wind Ranch Farm subdivision. Applicant Scott Wheeler, and he is proposing a lot line adjustment. Wheeler Tract 1 will be 14.47 acres, Wheeler Tract 2 will be 5.10 acres. Access to both tracks is from Wind Ranch Road, which is a 66 foot public right of way. Approximately 173.64 feet of Wind Ranch Road is a 53 foot wide public right of way. This plat was sent out for comments from the interim review committee in April, was presented and approved on May 5th by the planning commission. And the planning commission recommends that the board grant final approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mark, second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
I have a final plat of Pine Tract 1 and Pine Tract 2. Applicants Pine Ranch LLC. They are proposing a lot line adjustment. Tract 1 will become 43.57 acres. Tract 2 will become 47.38 acres. There is a private access utility easement on Tract 1 for the use of Tract 2. Access to both tracks is from Sydney Park Road, which is a 66 foot public right of way. This plat was sent out for comments from the interim review committee in March. It was presented and approved on April 8th by the planning commission. The planning commission recommends that the board.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mike,
Second.
second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
The next one I have for you is a final plat of Tract A of Colgan Addition. Applicant is Thomas Colgan. They are proposing a lot split off an Aliquot parcel.
Tract A will become 6.37 acres. Access will be Custer Road, which is a 66-foot wide public right-of-way. This plat was set out for comments from the Interim Review Committee in March, was presented and approved on April 8th by the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission recommends the board grant final approval.
Motion by Mike. Second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no.
The next one I have is a request for variance to ordinance 2, Article 4, Section 17B. Applicant Eric Lewis. They're requesting a variance from ordinance number 2, setback requirements from the right-of-way boundary. Applicant would like to go to residence 7 foot from the right-of-way boundary at Pika Trail, which is a 66-foot wide public right-of-way. Just to note, there is flood on this parcel, and there was a flood study done on this property, and it did not remove very much from the flood. So this parcel does present some topography issues. This variance was set up for comments from the Interim Review Committee in April, was presented and approved on May 5th by the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission recommends the board grant final approval.
I'll move to approve. Motion by Mark,
I'll second.
second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same.
The next one I have is a variance request that we had seen at the last meeting. They would like to bring it back to appeal the board's decision. It's a request for ordinance 2, Article 4, Section 17C, applicant Solar Power. They're requesting a variance from the ordinance 2 setback requirements from the property line. They're requesting a 5-foot setback in order to avoid being too close to the road on the property. And they are going to construct a new building. He would like to appeal the board's decision at the April 22nd commission meeting. I believe some commissioners have gone out and checked in the property. The question was whether or not there was a rock wall. The applicant is asking for 5 feet to avoid relocating the road on the parcel that serves the driveway.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike.
After going out and look at it, I had to go back through and look at everything too, because after, in the planning commission meeting, everything was talked about a rock wall was a topography issue. I even went back and watched the videos. So we went back and pulled the original variance request to see, and there was no mention of a rock wall. It's about the road that goes in, would have to move that. All the buildings are in line. It makes sense to do it that way, but had I gone like Mike did and look at it without knowing everything that gone into it, I would have probably made the same decision Mike did at that time. But knowing that the rock wall was not technically, it was discussed at the planning commission meeting, but it was not anywhere in variance requests. So,
All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Those opposed, say no.
The next one I have for you is a request to waive building permit requirements and fees. Applicant is J&M Investments. Applicant is requesting to have his building permit requirements and fees waived. He lost his structure in the quarry fire and wanting to rebuild. Our office has not had any information on the current wastewater system or the building that was there. The house and system was constructed in the 80s. So the ordinance states in order to get building permits, you have to follow the proper steps. So he's asking to have all of that waived.
So this is Mr. Gibson that I talked about, quarry fire, off his home. That's the one I talked to you guys about. Triggers, you know, if somebody wants to move in a new home or something like that, it triggers, you know, wastewater systems, what do you gotta have? This gentleman did not trigger anything. His house was burned down. I think it'd be a good deal just to waive the, you know, do a variance on the septic system. If that is working, Tanner Glenn says it's fine. There's nothing remotely wrong with it right now. I think we do want to give a waiver sign. Is that right, Terry? So,
And then also, if I heard correctly, he's putting in a smaller house with less bedrooms.
same square footage, one less bedroom. Is what he told me.
We don't have any information.
I would like to see just everything brought to us. Is he got it that way so we can see it?
I don't know, Tanner was just cleaning up the mess, all of the burned up stuff. So.
Because I would like to see the plans or something so we know what we're approving to put back onto the system, just to make sure that unless we approve it for the same size and everything.
Same size or less. Yeah, he did tell me it's gonna be less bedrooms. And Tanner, Mike said I talked to Tanner, it's just kind of a neighborly thing to do. I mean, They didn't ask for their house to be burned down, and they did a $10,000-15,000 bill on top of this.
Do you have anything to say, Tracy or Aaron, or?
No, I mean, I think it's a good thing to do for, given the circumstance, and I think you can just approve it for the same side or less. My concern would be just a blanket approval, and then they put something bigger and they
Yeah.
didn't need it, so I think you
No, I
can
I
hear
did,
that in the motion.
I did make sure that he was not doing any of that, so.
So based on.
But he still has to come and get a building permit, what Terry said.
Yeah, based on what Tracy just said, I'll make that motion. The
Motion by Mark.
Second.
Second by
The
Craig.
motion is to waive the septic fee
And building permit.
Yeah.
and building.
As long as it's the same size or smaller, less bedrooms. Because that's what really
Yeah.
messed the septic. That's-
And he does understand that if it fails in 2 weeks, he's gotta replace it.
Yeah.
Just right now, it's,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
The next one I have is an acknowledgement of resignation of Brandon and Mona effective April 27th. The next one I have is in a request for the planning technician vacancy is approval to advertise and hire for the planning tech vacancy, full-time, fully benefited position with a starting rate of $27 per hour.
I believe we need to do some more discussion on this before we approve to see what we need to, because I know we were trying to onboard some GIS into the office. And also just, if we're gonna continue doing that, if the position takes that on or what else, so we need to work with HR to see if we want the position still between the commissioners, part-time, or if we make it a full-time position with the added deals onto it, the added responsibilities. But I think we have to wait before we can advertise for it right now. That's my opinion of it,
How long do we have to wait?
at least till the next commission meeting, in my opinion.
We are busy and I can't get, we in the office cannot get to the installers who are installing septics. We can't get to the approaches. We are literally just having them take pictures and bring them to us because we cannot get to them. So you guys are aware of that and you're okay with that, but we are not getting to the taxpayers when they call for inspections.
We have to figure it out too, so. It was an unplanned event that happened, so we have to look into it.
So the next one I have is a planning commission vacancy. Planning commission member has stepped down from the planning commission board. This board member's term ends December 31st, 2028. We have two alternates. We can move an alternate number one to be full-time to finish out the term of the member who stepped down, or we can advertise and fill the vacancy and finish out the term. Both alternate terms also expire on December 31st, 2028.
If we have two alternates, just stick with.
One move one up, and then
What's alternate? Would you like to move?
Jeremiah, he's alternate one, so I'd make a motion that we move Jeremiah Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Witcher, sorry. Johnson. Too many names going around. Jeremiah Witcher, sorry.
I'll second that.
You gotta be old enough to get that.
I second
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
You can tell him I called him that now.
The last one I have is a request for wastewater certification. The changes from the state DANR for the wastewater installer license now cost $105 for the year. This fee is for each staff member. We're not installing the systems. We are pretty much just a filing system for the septics. We're verifying the application and the checklist when they come in and apply to make sure they're compliant with DANR and ordinance 2. When inspecting the systems, all we're doing is collecting the as-built at the time and then taking the pictures and then coming back and putting it in. Do you guys want to keep doing this every year? It's up to you guys. We don't, I mean, it's fine, but it's just a cost. I was just making sure you guys are fine with it.
I don't think we need it, but if we get a new employee, I think they should do it for the first year, just so they understand the process.
Would that be your recommendation?
Yeah.
Just to let us slide?
I mean, we don't need to be certified to inspect the systems.
Right.
We have chapter 74 and you can read that. And anybody else reading it.
Just making sure with you guys.
All right, we'll do it that way then.
That's all I have for you.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
Equalization.
Morning.
Good morning, guys.
Couple of quick things. For professional services in our budget, we have monies for a backup system through them. The initial contract license is $400, and then the annual service contract is $150. And just ask for your approval, and I need a signature from Jim. From Ben.
So I'll move to approve Jim's signature on
Motion by Mark, second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay.
That covers the annual service contract as well.
Yes.
All right, thanks, then we'll get that to them after the meeting.
Thanks. I think, so was Joe back? I seen you for a second.
that. Greg, you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. We'll bring back the building.
Are you okay with that? Motion on the table, you ready, Joe?
Yeah.
Motion on the table, the building.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay.
After reviewing the bids, the Fair Board's choice, asking for permission to accept the bid from, what is it, Capital Builders out of Belfouche.
Right.
For a total of $180,411.52.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mark, second by Craig. Any discussion?
Yes. Do we have?
Or is it cheaper?
Well, it is, yes, quite a bit cheaper, but I'm just making sure that we have agreements in place and everything on where the money's coming from.
I mean, just as far as we mentioned in the meeting.
Yeah.
The insurance claim money is $54,000 or whatever. Yeah, and then the Fair Board.
You guys,
What's that?
You're good with the additional money outside the insurance money, Fair Board paying?
Yes, correct.
and we've looked at these guys, they're legitimate builders and everything.
Yeah, they got companies in Belfouche, Spearfish, Nebraska, went everywhere.
Okay.
We couldn't find anything bad about them. I don't know much about them. I mean, they were fairly detailed in their bid and had, maybe even a little more than some of the other ones that were more expensive. So, and they gave us a schedule of exact dates they were gonna plan on doing.
Is there anything hopefully with the drainage on that building too, or?
We looked at it yesterday, and I mean, basically, I think if it ended up being a problem, because we worked with the skid steer.
Yeah, I just was hoping that it's gonna have the same problem the other one did, so if we keep it the same.
And we've never had water in that building, you know, and this one's gonna have gutters and stuff on it too, so I can't imagine it's gonna be an issue now, but.
We had it in the pond hut.
What's that?
You had it in the pond hut. You had water running in there.
We did.
Yes, I was down there. That's why, if anybody has it happen, when it happens again, don't call me, because I went down there and looked at it last time, so.
Okay, I don't remember that, I guess.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we
Water in
never
there when we
involved
wash it
was-
with the fire truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, that's what I would recommend. That's on you guys, but.
Okay.
The other detail is, do you want it to run through, since they're paying for it out of there, do you want the billing to go to them? Or do you want it to come through us?
Well, in
They
order
supplement.
to apply the insurance money, they'll have to come through us.
So the whole
Yeah.
project. Okay. Sounds good.
So you'll pay the bill and then we'll just reimburse you minus the insurance money.
Thank you.
That's how your motion is.
Motion by Mark and second by Craig.
Sure.
Work.
No, I'm good with it. I'm good. Keep it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Is that about the, amount that you figured it would be, or?
I really didn't have any idea. I was hoping it'd be right in there, but I didn't know. It seems like everything's kind of going crazy.
My guess is between 150 and 2.
So that first one was way out of whack. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Finance officer.
See, approval of special events alcoholic beverage license application for Buckle Gap Rollout, requesting liquor license per event. Currently holds the malt beverage license for $5 a day and $10 for 2 days. The events are July 10th and 11th, and we've done that before.
Move approved. Second. Motion by Craig, second by Mark. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcoholic beverage license renewal, RB 27623 for Buffalo Gap Blowout, retail on and off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wines for $300.
Move to approve. Motion by Mark, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol beverage license application renewal, RB 25889 for Megaplaz Adventures LLC, retail on and off malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wines, $300.
Motion by Mike.
Second.
By Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol license application renewal, RB 20107 for Custer County Fairgrounds, Hermosa, retail on and off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wines for $300.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Craig, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol beverage license application renewal, RB 25886 for Regency CSP Ventures Limited Partnership at Sylvan Lake Lodge. On and off sell malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wines for $300.
Move to approve. Motion by Mark, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol beverage license renewal, RB 25885 for Regency CSP Ventures Limited Partnership at Blue Bell Lodge, retail on and off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wines, $300.
Move to approve. Motion by Mike, second by Craig. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol beverage license application renewal, RB 3847 for Regency CSP Ventures Limited Partnership at Legion Lake, retail on and off sell malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine, $300.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mike, second by Mark. Any other discussion?
And maybe we should say no and we can get them back in.
I've already heard about that.
You're on your own.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol beverage license application renewal, RB 30549 for Bridal Ridge Horse and RV Camp LLC. At said camp, retail on and off malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine for $300.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, the same.
Approve alcohol beverage license application renewal, RB 29826 for Lucky Enough LLC at the Gold Valley Camp, retail on and off malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine for $300.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
And Jim, you need to abstain.
I
Alcohol,
will abstain.
approved alcohol beverage license application, RB 30739 for Lintz Brother Pizza LLC on Highway 36. Retail on, off, sale, malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine for $300.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mark, second by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
And just to say too, I have been working with the state park and been in contact with them, so.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, we're moving right along.
Legal counsel.
Great. Next up, I have, it's in your packet, the waiver and release of liability with respect to the building removal project on the Custer County Fairgrounds. You asked me to put that together at the last meeting and circulated it as part of the scan items. Basically took the one we had for the highway shop where we have them sign this when they're disrupting our roads and putting them back and so on. Basically has a waiver and release of liability. Whoever is removing the building, they're doing this at their own risk, release of the county, the fair association, the fair board, all the other volunteers, board members, commissioners, signs, whoever, releasing them from any liability that may come with that, identifying all those same people. There's no employment or agency relationship being created, and it operates under South Dakota law. It's basically a one pager to have them sign before they do the project. My recommendation is to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mike, second by Craig, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same.
Next thing up is the commission has discussed budget policy line items. So the auditor's office has been working on this project along with myself, and they've been, they've taken it to some committees and talking about that. Maybe Don, you can provide a little bit more, what kind of feedback you may have gotten from any of the other people that you've shown this to, as far as department heads or anybody else.
We really haven't yet.
Okay.
I think what we need to do is form the board of the 3 people, and then it can go to the department heads.
Okay, sounds good. They just provided the information this
Right.
past week, and so I'm gonna be looking at it this week and certainly can supply it to Tracy.
So maybe at the next commissioner meeting, let's have an idea of who the board members are. Then we can get all the stuff lined up and send it to the departments. Have them look at it and review guys too.
Yes.
Because it's your budget policy.
Yes, so we're trying to put in there a lot of those other line item points about, issues of cash flow at the end of the year. I know that was brought up earlier about, there's certain times of the year, particularly the end of the year, which the county has the least amount of cash on hand because we don't have revenue coming in from property tax and that sort of thing. And so just finding ways to spread expenditures out over a certain period, the year more evenly as possible. It's not always possible, but hopefully, when it can be planned, we can do that. That prevents us having to go into cash out certain security or things like that, and paying, having penalties or certain things that are obviously undesirable. Things like this to just make the process not only what is going to go into the budget for the following year, but also how the budget is spent through that year, being as predictable as possible, and having more input from the department heads and seeing the greater picture of how this all affects the county. So not everyone's just in their silos, but everyone, there's a more, people can see how all these things affect each other. So that's the idea of the budget policy. We're going off of some other counties as sort of a, we use some of the template from a few other counties of kind of how they've generally done it. We're not just adopting what they're doing, but using that as a guide. So, yeah, on the next meeting, we should have more specific stuff to provide to you to review in advance of the meeting.
Next is, of course, I put authorize legal counsel to provide an analyst of Senate Bill 96, the local sales tax option, reduced property tax. I think it'd be good for us. Of course, I believe this will be good for our county, and that's where I'd like to have Aaron and Tracy gets a chance to look into it with Aaron at all. But start getting the groundwork set up for what is actually in the law so we can get it out to the public to understand what's in there. And then the course of implementation and what that will affect and how it will work. So everybody's on board with it.
And how much will,
Hope that's going to be, of course, tourism. I mean, that's a tough one with tourism. So.
Amber Holmes is very optimistic. I'm not as optimistic as she is. I really hope I'm wrong. But the amount of money will bring back to
Reduce property taxes.
yeah, she's saying about $1,000 on the average, $400,000 home. And I'm guessing 500-600, but I hope I'm wrong. You see that?
I'd be happy with
It's much, I would be happy with 500 or 600 too, yes. So,
Yeah,
Just a point of information on that when you guys are working on it. When Senate Bill 66 was in, before it was passed, former Representative Dennis Crow in Hill City is a numbers man, and he's got all the numbers. His projection when I met with him was that it would bring in the half-cent 1.6 million to Custer County. And so he would be a really good one for you to contact to get some of those numbers, Dennis Crow.
And yeah, one of the big ones I would like to find out too is understanding where the money sits in between while it's waiting for the year. Because first off, we can't, from what I understand, implement it until January 1st of 27 with a 90 days notice to the state. And then it has to build up for the year. And where that money will sit, whether it's in an account at the county that the state sends it to, or else they hold it at the state until we send them the property tax revenues, and then they offset it with us. I don't know which way it is yet. So that's part of it.
We gotta figure out, the interior's gonna still figure.
Yeah, they're still figuring out too, so this will be a little bit of it, but I would like to see us be one of the first ones getting everything figured out.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd make a motion to authorize Aaron Davis to look into Senate Bill 96 and give us a legal counsel.
Motion by Mike,
Second.
second by Craig, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Some companies aren't going to take advantage of this. I talked to a gal who used to be in the legislature with me. She said her county probably won't go with it. I said, how come? She said, we only have 4 stores. She said it wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. So Custer County, on the other hand, has 2 million tourists. So I would like to have seen a 2-cent sales tax for 6 months. We would have damn near done away with property tax. But it didn't happen.
Say what we.
This is step one.
Yeah, this is step one. So.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be any kind of an audit mechanism involved in that, so what doesn't happen before happens again with the state where they keep the money?
Well, what this is too is Senate Bill 96 is different than say 245 or anything like that too, where they sold what am I trying to say, gambling and all that on that it was going to reduce property taxes, but it never was written into the law. Where Senate Bill 245 actually, that's the school one, wrote it into law stating that it has to go there. It was just a saying, and they didn't put it in the law in the last time. So these ones have it in law where it goes.
And it actually has to be held in a separate property
Yes.
tax fund.
And that's the fund I'm talking about. I don't know if it's held
Yeah,
in
it
the
doesn't
state or.
specify
Yeah.
where that fund is at, but those ones have to be put into that special fund.
Trish Ladner said that she'd be more than happy to come here and discuss that with the public.
And like I said, I'm hoping that we can keep this, and then also if they give us some lean or able to put it on through like May through October or so that would make it even better for us. But it would be even for the people that pay it from our own county, it's kind of like a rebate. They have an owner occupied house. They'd be going back to them anyways for their own taxes.
Well, we better be happy we got.
Just trust me, I am so happy we got
It
that.
sounds like Dusty Johnson just said we aren't going to see any increase in sales tax. I think the major problem in our county is property tax. And, it doesn't do any good to shift it within the property tax system. You've got to have an alternative tax. Basically, it's sales tax. And luckily, Governor Rogan backed this one. He would like to go back to 2-cent proposal, but he said they didn't get it through. But, he said it would have worked great for Custer County, but not very good.
Yeah, I'm guessing most of the Black Hills and over by Sioux Falls will probably be big one on this.
So anyway, this will be satisfied completely done. Schedule a meeting with Custer on law enforcement. Yeah.
I can tell you, I sent a letter to the city, and the city declined our invitation for a joint public meeting.
Yeah.
I will address that. If John could work with Lori with some dates so we could get it on the agenda for our Monday night meeting, May 18th, that would be great. Okay?
Is Lori aware you're gonna ask her to do this?
Pardon?
Is Lori aware you're gonna ask her to do this?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
I just want to throw out one thing for the law enforcement piece. Marty has worked on this, but we've been still there a long time. Yeah, he's gone, but Derek knows the story. Custer State Park takes in $25 million, probably will come in 26, maybe 27 too. They gave us less than $40,000 in their 4 contracts. That doesn't cover the cost of the dispatcher, which we now have 2 less. I think we really need to push Custer State Park, Game Fish and Parks for $1 million a year to cover law enforcement. I mean, we pay enough in the county. I keep hearing from city people, they don't want to pay double, and I don't know if that's how it really works out or not, but that's a whole other complaint. I don't know how that works, but I think that because we are providing so much to the park, it behooves them to step up. When you pass the Regency bills, the alcohol licenses, that's where their tax money is coming from those tax dollars that go into, we don't get any of that. And I think we should. So
You're
I
absolutely right.
I got
100%.
some people on my side that we're gonna work on getting that in next year.
And we've been pushing for years.
And I've been
I know,
And I've been
I know.
working for months with the state park because they're redoing their vendor licenses and everything. I've been working with that for months on them. I'm not saying we're gonna get anywhere near what you're hoping for there.
Yeah,
We're gonna get more, I believe, and agency, I'd have to say that they're saying that they have a license with the state park to do it, so that's been brought up, that they're like, we're just a person doing business, we got an agreement with the state park,
yeah, well,
and hopefully we'll be getting some sales tax off of their sales too here soon, so.
yeah,
But no, we do need to work more with the state park, they have stepped up in before helping with law enforcement some, but there's a long ways to go.
they stepped up Game Fish and Park, not the state park, but
Yes.
Game Fish and Park stepped up with West Dam. I mean, they gave us a significant grant for that, or money for that. So, I mean, I hate to complain too much, but on the other hand, this is something that's ongoing.
Yeah.
And we deal with every year. You know, one toss by the fluffy cow and we pretty much used up the less than 40,000. Thank you.
Not yet, it's between now and August is their timeline to get it settled up, and then after that.
We had an agreement with them where they will, they're going to put Custer County in the agreement, for a new contract.
Okay.
So we will, the concessionaire that gets the contract will be responsible for paying Custer County.
We're working on that, it is not
Okay.
set.
It's not enough.
Good, thank
That's
you.
what they told us that they would do.
Okay. That's
So
good
right
to
now,
know.
they're working with their vendors and everything through this negotiation process to see where we can, the state park is wanting to help more and hopefully the vendors will help us as well.
Okay, perfect,
But
thank
like I
you.
said, all this is still being worked on at the moment.
So Nina, you said Monday night meeting, you guys are gonna schedule a date?
If Don can work with
We'll make it
Lori for
work.
some
Yeah.
dates, for future dates, yes.
I don't have anything coming up.
We'll make it work. I think it's pretty important
Yeah.
to make
Yes.
this happen, so.
You guys want it on YouTube
Well,
or?
the biggest thing we have to figure out
Well,
is,
Get that
We'll
date.
get some
If you
dates.
have it at City Hall, we can put it online and people can actually participate and comment as opposed to YouTube.
Don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
think
fine
it-
with City Hall.
we should quit kicking the can, is all I'm saying. And get the date and see if it's gonna happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Approve nameplates to be engraved for
more.
past employees.
So,
Memorial.
we don't know what direction to go as employees, to do that plaque out there, to list the past employees that have passed away. Because the guy that used to do the engraving also passed away. So I don't know if you guys want us to purchase something that we can engrave ourselves, or I don't know, engravers. I think Karen reached out, to places. We just need guidance from you guys.
I think it's too simple to get that stuff nowadays. You go on the internet, you go to Rap City, whatever. That green, you can probably do it.
Mine on
In
that.
our office, we use Vanway Trophy
Yeah,
for
Vanway.
our stuff.
There we go. You know, it'll
Just send them a.
stick with something that's already been vetted.
Give them a sample and they can match it.
Okay, that's what I'll tell Karen. Kind of helps with that, so.
Okay. Vehicle.
impacts to the surrounding landscape. We greatly appreciate your to support this solution. We would also like to extend special thanks to Jess Doyle and his crew for their assistance and expertise throughout the project. While the South Dakota DOT manages an extensive road system, we have limited experience with gravel surfacing. Jess and his team were an invaluable resource, particularly in guiding winter maintenance and general upkeep of the gravel detour route. This project is a great example of how collaboration can lead to successful outcomes. Working together allowed us to efficiently serve both local and highway traffic, and we truly appreciate the partnership. Thanks again for your support and cooperation.
And thank you, Jess, and everyone out there.
And the next one is from Fairburn Fire Protection District to Custer County Commissioners. We would like to officially recognize the excellent work done by Custer County Sheriff's Office, Communication Center, Emergency Management on the 79 fire. We truly value their contribution in our time of need. Thank you, Fairburn Fire. So, good job, guys. And that's it.
Okay, meeting schedule.
Maybe May 18th at the city, so I'm full for the city. I don't have anything else.
I just gonna say May 18th is gonna be our council.
That's where they would set.
Yeah, because we.
Oh, that's when you're gonna set it. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
understood you. I'm
because
sorry.
we'll put it on our agenda, so.
Oh.
we can get it approved by our council.
Gotcha.
Meeting reports, great.
The fire opt-out at the Pine Room. I think that was our last informational one that we're gonna do before the election. The Custer County Republicans candidate forum at the Pine Room again. Brendan and I had a phone conference call with the FAA and Mean Hunt last week. We did go down to Game Fishing Parks last Thursday. They had held their meeting at Custer State Park. I did visit with them with public comment about fairgrounds, Custer County Fairgrounds, and the 4-H shooting facility. We want Travis Deese, one of his wishes before he passed on. And then they're very responsive, so I've already had a couple phone calls from them, so we're working pretty well there. Black Hill Association County Commissioners last Friday. I think that was it.
Mike?
The candidates forming the Association of County Commissioners, fire opt-out, that was very poorly attended. I think there were more fire than there were public. Pringle City meeting last night and a museum meeting. They had it in the museum courtroom again instead of in the pine room. And I walked in and said, did you put in new lights? It's so clean and bright in there now. They've done a great job all there. They refinished the floor in the courtroom, the walls downstairs, and that's the big thing they used our money for. It wasn't all that much, but the walls were crumbling in the basement. They had a guy come in and kind of fix that and paint it. It looks really good if you get a chance to go over to the museum.
So I went to the fair board meeting last night. To do everything. New buildings. Everything's moving along all right with the fair. Of course, I went to the meeting here. The other night, so. Mike?
I got a couple. I went to the housing meeting, Custer City Council, fire opt-out meeting, planning meeting, Republican candidate forum meeting and everything, search and rescue, and the SDA CCO meetings.
Mark?
Housing, planning, and, elected officials on Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah. A lot of phone calls the last couple of weeks. A lot going on.
Okay. Any other things that need to be brought forward?
Anything else you want to go ahead? I'll move to go into another executive session for SDCL 13-142 indigent, SDCL 1.5 personnel, 1.5 F2 legal, and 1.5 F2 contract.
Motion by Mike, second by Mike. All those in favor?